Logging in, but everything says 0. That doesn't make any sense. How can I be a stream hero? Let's refresh and see if the numbers change. The numbers change. What's going on here? Make me reconnect. Load. Reload. Oh, I can see the chat, but reload. There we go. Now we have numbers. Represent a thing. Green lights are greenified. What am I forgetting? I got my water. What? I got my water right here. It's got ice. Hey, so there's no need to fear, because if it gets real hot, it's already real hot. Then, you've already got ice. There's no need to have some bot. It's not a good rhyme. Not a good rhyme at all. Meow. 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 You're the sweetest angel. Yeah, no, that wasn't a good rhyme, Rips. But, hey, where's the camera? There it is. It's Tuesday again. I got a whole list of things to talk about. What if I opened up that list before we started for once, so I'm not randomly trying to guess at things? And then see if I guessed my own notes right. Space Goonie and the CTK. Wave emotes that say hey. Not in focus. Not in focus. There we go. So that's all the things. I guess I've just been having allergies for the past few weeks. Because, oh man, I keep having these crazy sneezing fits. Whenever I try to do something, I'll go like most of the day, like, hey, reacting, you're reacting great. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, you're only supposed to take these things every 12 hours, but, I've still got like 12 more hours to the day. I can't stop sneezing. So, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. Check over here. Oh, hey, Pat. How's it going? It's the Pat Cam. Say did a lot in the last few days. The internet and the world are full of all kinds of things that need to be talked to about. You talk to me about those things. Or I could talk at you about all the things, because, I don't know if you remember, you gave me this swanky hat last time, and this new mug. So, I mean, you know, I'm pretty much the most important thing here. I don't see your new hat. I don't see your new mug. You got a good point. You got a good point. I do have a comic idea that I came up with before the stream for once. It's a stolen idea, but it's one of those ideas that, you know, if everyone's stealing, then it's not stealing anymore. It's just doing the things. Yeah, I'm always tempted to take two. I keep reading the box of reacting, and it's just like, just take one. It's like, if you're over the ages of 50, just take one. And if you're between the ages of like 5 years old and regular adultness, just take one. I'm like, oh, but I want to take two so bad. My nose is so itchy. My eyes are so itchy. Oh, man. All in. So yeah. I just realized that I did need to grab some reference before I start drawing stuff, because, like I said, I'm stealing. So we'll type Star Wars meme. And odds are the new one will come up. A lot of Star Wars memes. There it is. There it is. I'll keep this over here. I can look at as needed. There we go. And yeah, so once again, if you follow the Instagram, always the wrong finger, at Mr. Cartoons on Instagram, there's some new stop motion up. One of which is a Jason Voorhees toy, doing the TikTok trend that was the if I jump up and down, I'll get 10,000 likes because I did it with an alien toy. Alien toy doesn't have any frontal chestal area, so nobody cared. So I took a Jason Voorhees who has like actual clothing, and then I took some clay, jammed that up in there, and I did some real sweet bouncing animation that if you haven't seen it, go check it out. And if you haven't seen it, meow 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 meow. Why can't I? There it is. Go to this screen. And let's watch a fancy jiggle. Let's watch a fancy jiggle. Making your day with TikTok. Oh my god, this is so stupid. The internet just keeps getting more and more stupid. Certain pages, internet websites, but specifically TikTok now is just like, hey, do you want to come to this website? There's no reason for you to have to prove whether or not you're a robot, but can you take this puzzle piece, slide it across this picture, and put it in this little puzzle slot? Why? 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 That's not how you spell my name. And then it wants me to do another puzzle piece just to do a search, Just search it, and then a third one, a third puzzle piece before it will let me a fourth puzzle piece prove I'm still not a robot before I can click on my own page. That's not it. Here we go. That's how I spent my weekend. Then there was this.
Those robot arms into Terminators and Skynets, and you can't do it. Song as old as run.
So you're telling me that all I have to do is put my hands up like this and bounce?
Now you can hear it.
And that's how I get 100,000 likes?
Then, today at lunchtime, real quick, I finally did some more work on this guy, animated a bit.
My little boy was all grown up, so he had sent a robot back from the future to protect his little boy self. Tale as old as time. And now you're gonna turn those robot arms into Terminators and Skynets, and you can't do it. Song as old as rhyme. It's just what we gotta do, so I'm gonna blow up this whole place. Meow, 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 meow.
That's something I did. So yeah, I spent a bunch of time on laser sharks, avocado shakes, working on my little stop motion guy there, felting away. And again, I don't understand why I'm not good at felting. I'll do one side of the body, like felt like perfect. It all felts together and becomes this magical mesh of Muppetness. Go to the other side, do the exact same thing, same kind of felt. It's just on the other side, and then it's just like, no, we're just gonna disconnect and go all crazy as if you've never done this before. So there's still a bunch of things about them that are wonky and weird that I'll eventually redo someday, somehow. But first, you didn't play the theme song. That's what I'm gonna say. You gotta play the theme song. I'm gonna play the theme song. But the theme song, it's the whole thing, and no one will know what's going on. It only says Mr. Cartoons on the screen, 7 different places. Play the effing theme song. Oh my Jesus age. Meow.
Mr. Cartoons.
Hey, that was a lightning sound effect, not me blowing my nose violently. Don't want to be covered in snot. Oh man, yeah, lots of fun stuff. I'm on the Streamlabs YouTube page now. Yeah, that's the Laser Shark swimming by from previous intros and videos, and I think I did a somewhat of an interview with Shark Harry, just saying I'm a shark. A long time ago on one of the things that I did. But yeah, if you go to the Streamlabs YouTube channel, there's a little half-hour show that's basically this, except it's me and Milo showing the behind the scenes of how I make some animated emotes during the day, and then as soon as that video was over, I redid that emote that I did on the video. But it's pretty fun. And I'm there, and I'm the best part. We barely talk to you, but yes, you are there. You're not supposed to be there. That's work time. It's work time. Yeah, but, you know, it's a real job to be around me, right? Huh? Is that a thing? Did that make any sense? I don't think so, but yes, it is. It's a whole deal. Oh, man. This just in. My little Streamlabs remote app on my phone is too close to where I keep my hand when I draw. So we went to the news segment. So I don't know. Let me check my notes for some news. Let's see if I got anything news-ish on here. This just in. I'm not sure where I saw if this was TikTok or if this was Instagram, but it showed this guy, I think with his kid, and they were at a Tampa Bay Lightning, let's say. I think that's the name of the hockey team. They were there, I presume at some sort of expensive seats or whatever, taking a video of like the managers, the people coming to have a talk to you about, you know, your attire. You know, when you go to a hockey game and people are like, excuse me, you're not dressed appropriately for this hockey game. It's hockey. You know, we're here to see some blood on the ice, people screaming and going crazy, and then, depending on who wins or loses, a bunch of us will go out into the street, flip over a bunch of cars, and start fights. And that's when we're in a good mood, because we're winners. You wouldn't want to see us when we lose. I was going to reference that time Vancouver destroyed its city, but I think that was over a win as well. People have problems. So dude was wearing a Florida Panthers jersey, I believe. Yes. And they were like, "Yeah, no, you can't wear that here. You can't come to a hockey game and wear the jersey of another team. We don't have two teams at a time here. We're only going to have Tampa Bay playing with themselves. So you wear your doesn't make any sense. I'm pretty sure there was a Seinfeld about that. I believe I may have heard some sort of John Hamm story on a podcast where he told something similar, where people were like, hey, you can't just go wearing your own hat to a baseball game. And, you know, I'm sure the answer should have been, I'm John Hamm. I wear whatever I want, whenever I want. I'm John Hamm. I'm John Hamm. But you know, people are crazy. People are crazy, and they make up crazy rules. The other thing, news-wise, if you want to call it that, is I had a good day. I had a good day where I'm just like, you know what? Maybe TikTok isn't the darkest, craziest place in the world. It's got lots of things, like from every facet of everybody who has any kind of idea. They're just putting it out there a minute at a time, 15 seconds at a time. And it was just a day of just like, that was super interesting. That was super funny. That was super clever. You made a good point. Wow. Wow. And then it's just like, like maybe I'll look at TikTok more. And then eventually, like by the next day, I'm just like, I gotta look at TikTok 1,000% less. Cause it's making me as sad as Facebook. Like, what is happening here? So much of my feed anyway is just overflowing with either people that are just, hey, here's how I'm fighting back against Trump and Trumpeteers and trolling those guys, just like, okay. And then the other side is just like, hey, I'm a Trumpeteer. I don't need a mask. I don't need a vaccine. I don't need this. I don't need that. Joe Biden's not real, etc. And it's like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And where those two converge is a lot of death threats. Like the amount of just kids that are like, hey, so anyway, just trying to be on here and make some fun stuff. And I've got my rainbow flag in the background there, and this guy says that I deserve a bullet in the head, because of that. And exactly, Laser Sharks. Like, I remember when I was a kid going to one of my brother's hockey games, people are yelling, just screaming all the time, all kinds of things, just those hockey parents. And I don't understand anything they're saying. And honestly, nobody in the ice, to all of you hockey moms and dads out there, nobody on the ice can hear or understand or cares what you're screaming at them. So I decided, hey, I'm normally 900% quiet. This is long before I started talking in the world. Like, long before, I was just like, he's so quiet. Like, yeah, because you open your mouth and people jump down your throat and try to pull out your innards and beat you with them. So I'm just going to be quiet. I'm going to be quiet until I can sit in a little tower of judgment and look out my windows onto the world. Yeah, I just started screaming nonsense. But I still was saying, like, yay, team sports are great. Like, it was still usually positive things. Like, these people were still saying, like, get him, like, hit that other kid. Like, these are just kids. And yeah, I remember, like, people within my own family just being like, what are you doing? Like, stop that. Like, kind of take this seriously. We're watching a bunch of kids skate around on the ice, hitting a little rubber thing into a net. If we take this too seriously, then I got to go to therapy. And then I was right. So, TDs. I like to animate like Stickman. That's still animation. What I used to do at lunchtime at my animation job is I just got who goes first in this comic strip. Milo, perfect. Back to my notes. Yeah, at lunchtime, even though I'm just like, oh, we have too much animation to do. Making TV shows is exhausting. I'd like to go home someday. Hey, it's lunchtime. Oh, cool. I'm going to sit at my desk while I eat something, and I would just make these little, like, just snakes, just moving around, or string. Sometimes, like, one string would catch another string, and just be just a bunch of different colored lines, basically, just animating. And it was super relaxing, and I almost always loved how it looked. You could just have fun with the timing without worrying about structure or model sheets. Brush is too thick. But yeah, that's the real key to doing stuff is always going to be the doing stuff. Just do it. I think I had this pair of sneakers one time. I think they told me about that. They were like, "Hey," and I was like, "What is it, sneakers?" And my sneakers were like, "You should just go ahead and do that." And I said, check mark." And then they were like, "Could we use that?" I was like, "The check mark," and they were like, "Yeah." And then I don't know. I guess they're doing pretty good. I haven't kept up with them. I'm that old. That I helped invent Nike. No, you didn't. And if you're gonna have imaginary conversations with things, I swear to F, I'm right here. Like, how dare you? I'm frozen again. And Unfrozen. How dare you? I mean, just taking the time. You put all these things on a screen, all these buttons, go through all the effort, and then you're just gonna be like, hey, you know what? Let me just make up an imaginary pair of sneakers and talk to them like a psychopath. When, I mean, A, you're not just gonna very quickly animate a pair of sneakers that we can cut to, or B, just talk to me. Or could I audition for the role of sneakers? Because that would be cool. I mean, if that's a thing, is that available? I would also like to audition for any extraneous parts in this particular live stream, Sarah. Because I don't get enough time. It's amazing that you actually cut to me because I happen to know for a fact that you were planning on pressing the TED button, but you picked this button by mistake because the buttons are small and it's hot and your eyes are sweaty. It's a sweaty, hot day. And also, Jason Voorhees is here. Remember him? He's a killer, you know. I'm also a bad guy, but not that bad a guy, Sarah. Hey, dudes, where's my voice? That's not it. Guys, hey, can't do it. Lost it. Guys, surfing. What? It's me, Ted. Bros. There it is. Bros is my word that brings me in. Hey, bros. Yeah, I'm a good sneaker, bro. If you look at my Instagram, Bill and Ted Book Cats, on Instagram, I'm always laying around, pretty much just like a shoe. And there's two of us over here, so we can both be shoes. I could be a pair of shoes. I can make a check mark, bros. Bros? Anyway, surf wax? Have I mentioned surf wax in the last several weeks? Oh my god, that's like a cavalcade of craziness. It is. Yeah, I genuinely keep forgetting that when I cut to Ted, I do not know how to do Ted's voice. It is not a voice that I have fun with randomly, occasionally, as I do with other voices, like the weird David Bowie voice. I do that all the time, whether somebody's here or not. Watching, listening, recording. Nope. Just if I have a good thought, it's just like, that thought would sound better if it came from some sort of 80s, 70s, 90s, 2000s, I won't say music savant, but savant isn't the word I'm looking for. It's a music impresario? No. Phenom? Musical phenomenon? The Will Smith of music. He's something like a phenomenon. Icon. That's even better, Patrick. Even better. He's a phenomenon. He's a cultural icon, and he can't be stopped. And it's just fun. It's just a fun voice to do, and I know it's not perfect, and I don't care. I don't care. My friend Amanda said I say the word Sarah perfectly, and it's also the only word that I also think that I say perfectly. In that voice. But other than that, it's just me funning around. But anyway, yeah. Meanwhile, back over on the TikTok, having that leave some bad taste in my mouth. This one girl posted, and this isn't even in my notes. I think I shared it on my Instagram stories, where this one girl snaps. Pass. Oh, pass. There's a tale as old as time. There's a song as old as rhyme. Drawing on the long layer. I'm gonna take a long layer. Drawing on the wrong layer, like a monster. Oh, all stare monsters. I'm gonna fix this box. But it was uplifting. It was inspiring, even though it started as something so sad, so upsetting. But whatever. Still, what I would see. I'm old, so I still see this person as a little kid. They were still probably well into their 20s, but somebody was responding to them. Still doing the wrong layer. Why am I doing this? There we go. Um, basically something about how being transgender, being gay, being all these other things, like that's a mental problem, and you need to get help for that. And within within the same, I'm going to say paragraph. There's no periods. People don't use periods. There's no sentences. But within the same sentence, it was like you need to get help. You have mental issues, and you need to fix yourself. But also basically, I'm going to kill you. Not even basically, like I just can't remember the words, but it was just like this is a death threat, and I want to be the one to find you and kill you. So she took the time, and of course from an anonymous TikTok account. There's a bunch of these monsters out there. They don't have an avatar. They don't have a name. It's just, hey, I'm QX457, or usually I'm USA number 157867999, and then a bunch of just weird Trumpy rhetoric. But yeah, I've just been seeing a lot of these crazy death threat videos. So she went and she was like, well, it looks like you had your TikTok account linked to this other account. So I found that account, and from that account you were posting on this account, and there's a bunch of pictures of you with this guitar. And then so here's this guitar again on this lady's account. I assume is your wife or girlfriend. And so here's your band's account, and then finally we come down and find that you work at where was this? FedEx, I think. I want to say it was FedEx. So it's like, here's your thing, and then just like tweeting or adding FedEx, like, hey, is it cool that your employees are just on the internet threatening people, threatening murder? But then yeah, after that one, I'm just seeing so many just death threats, and it's super sad. The other thing, like, I don't follow a ton of people, just a handful. The odd few people that I actually know, like 3 of those. Some randos that were like, this was interesting, funny content, and then some celebrities. One of the celebrities I decided to follow was Alyssa Milano, because one of her videos popped up, and it was just her basically just kind of defending herself. I'm just like, wow, like Alyssa Milano was like, seems pretty smart and clever and interesting, and I used to think she was the greatest when I was a kid. Let's see what she's up to. And near as I can tell, what Alyssa Milano is up to is just spending all day long having people tell her she is old and ugly, and again, take her medication, you have mental problems, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, what? Why take the time to do that to somebody, for one, and to two, be so abhorrently, objectively, just insanely wrong about all those things? And I'm just like, wow, like, Alyssa Milano looks, younger than ever. I'm sure she's probably only a few years older than me. But she looks amazing. Seems like she's doing lots of stuff. I know she makes a lot of things. Has a lot of like company type stuff and everything. Like, she's a busy person. She's in no way destitute. But yeah, like the last one that I watched there was her just saying like, yeah, no, actually I did take my medication. Here's a list of the problems that I have, while you're busy, making fun of me for having problems that you don't probably realize that I actually have, and, calling me old and ugly. And it's just like, well, this is terrible. Like, this is terrible. And it's just so disheartening. And another one that, again, I want to say is funny, but still just sad on all the levels, is same deal. Some girl pops up and she's like, really? Like, you're gonna take the time to just tell me I'm ugly yet again? Like, you just keep popping on here to tell me I'm ugly. And this was, once again, absolutely beyond normal, good-looking, regular person. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing that you'd be like, hey, let me pick on you for this. Are people picking on me for my hat? Is this code? Are there people talking about my new hat and saying that it's ugly? If it is, I'm gonna have to set up my own TikTok and start just yelling at the internet. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Might have to set up Milo's own TikTok just for him to be angry about things, and then that way, there's a nice little facade between me and the rest of the world to say some crazy things. Wait a sec. What do you mean you would have a facade? Are you scapegoating me? Are you scapegoating me right now? That's why you were invented. Oh my god. So, I felt bad. I took a TikTok down because it was just like, uh, I don't know. Again, like just you see a bunch of crazy stuff, and you're like, I want to fight too. And several hours later, I don't. I realize no, that was a mistake. I don't want to fight anybody. Nothing crazy happened, but like somebody posted, a little video just saying like, hey, there's this unknown secret etiquette at the urinals that only men know. And I'm just like, well, now I have to watch this to make sure to see that you're going to say something new. Because if you say the same thing, that honestly, every time I go to the internet, there's a diagram, there's an animation, there's just an illustration, there's a comic strip, and it's on every sitcom for the past 50 years, is everybody puts a space, and then somebody's like, oh my god, can you believe this guy? He went to the urinal next to me instead of putting that space in. Like, that's the rule, Seinfeld. So I was assuming that he was going to say something fresh and new, but it wasn't. It was that thing. He was just explaining that. So I felt like, hey, you know what? If TikTok is about stitching together your video and responding to somebody else's thing and being a jerk, then let's jerk away, Meryl. Let's jerk away. So I decided to be a jerk, and I replied with my own little video of myself using my own face, not a cartoon, just straight up, hey, yeah, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. It's the oldest thing in the world. It's like, but what I did just learn is that people are apparently taking their old stand-up routines from the 40s and from VHS tape from the 40s, and they're transferring it over to TikTok. That's what I just learned. Because it's it was just an old thing. Like, that's why bother? But again, half of TikTok is just, hey, did you whatever do you know what happened to I don't even remember what that joke is. It's so old and so dumb, but whatever. Like, hey, how come we don't see 9 around anymore? Like, oh, because didn't you hear 7, 8, 9? Mm-hmm. So there's so many of those, like, just beyond dad jokes, just, grade 3 jokes. Like, hey, I'm in grade 1 and I've got this joke book for kids, huh? And then these people are like, hey, check it out. I'm 50. I'm on TikTok, and let me tell you a little joke. It goes a little something like this. Like, yeah, I was 7 once as well. Are you really? Is this the first time you've heard this? What's happening here? So I went back and deleted that anyway, because it is like, I don't want to be one of those people that's just taking a wicked turd on other people's TikToks. I'll save that for my live stream, where I'll take a wicked turd on people's TikToks, just, second-handedly, third-handedly, instead of right into their faces, whilst tagging them in their own insults. There should be more front on. Why get out reference if you're not going to look at it? Really? I mean, you seen this guy? Doesn't know what he's doing. So anyway, I didn't finish what I was saying. So that girl, so the dude says, hey, you're ugly. And she's like, isn't that great? Like, you're over here with no videos of your own, no information, no nothing. You're just anonymous, floating around the internet telling young girls that they're ugly. So guess what? I did some sleuthing. These kids are amazing. I am terrified now that I'm being TikToked by people. Every time I see a young person, just like, oh god, don't end up being one of these old men that TikTok kids are filming and then adding music to. It's just like, like, no, I'm already making my own music in my head. Don't TikTok me. Don't TikTok me. Unless it's for, fun that we can all enjoy. Oh, man. So, so many of those. So she sleuthed out this guy, and she was like, so anyway, you keep calling me ugly, but I would just think that maybe you take a look in the mirror yourself and stop perhaps projecting onto me your own insecurities. And then, you know, she had a green screen so that his face was in the background. She's like, so I found your Facebook profile. Is this you? Is this you? Because seriously, how dare you? And she didn't even go so far as to say, like, you are ugly trash. Like, you are hideous. You are a hideous teenager with no offense to any teenagers, but like with hideous teenage greasy acne, you know, just whatever that worst point that we've all gone through or will go through of puberty and just being awkward and whatever, and just having that, you know, that face that we all had for a little while growing up, and it's just like you're really gonna be over here with your gross preteen face with your puberty just bursting out of your pores, and you're gonna make fun of me? Like, how dare you? How dare you? So that also felt good to watch. Somebody kind of, you know, fighting for their rights to party. But now my feed is so much just a constant inundation of everybody fighting, or people that are just like, check it out, my neighbor, he does this all the time. And then it's just like so many just TikToks that are nothing but this is the speed bump I've been watching. 50,000 followers. Anyway, this is the speed bump in front of our house, and these are the TikToks that we take of people going over the speed bump because they don't realize it's a speed bump, so they do these little jumps. And another one was just like, hey, my neighbor just like bangs their car door off of my car door, and I can tell they're doing it on purpose, and I'm taking video, and this is all evidence, and it's just video after video of somebody banging somebody else's car door with their door. And it's just like, wow, like TikTok that's where you go and fight your battles now. It's the new Twitter. Well, Twitter is just, I don't even know what's going on Twitter. I don't know. I barely look at it. I mostly just follow people who draw things. I see a bunch of drawings and I back away. So if I just hit that little magnifying glass and go to the what's going on in the world, what's trending in Twitterland, it's nothing but hate crimes. Nothing but hate crimes. Oh man, like, oh man. Weird mouth. All right. This. Semi-adorable one. Dude was yelling something about masks or something in like an American flag shirt up on the land. There was water, there was docks, there was more water. This other crazy old man was on a jet ski. Dude from the land was yelling with dude from the sea. Dude from the sea is like, you stay right there, like we're gonna fight. And the other guy's like, okay. He's like, I'm coming over there, we're gonna fight. Like, what? And then he finally, old man gets over to the other old man, like, all right, I'm gonna fight you now. Like, no, listen, I used to have a boat too. Like, what do I care that you had a boat? I'm here to fight you because you were just yelling stuff at me, and nobody does that. So let's fight. And she's like, no, like, I don't want to fight anybody now. Now that you're up in my face, and you're an old man, and I don't want to knock you to the ground. And then, I don't know, somehow it turned into an apology. And then the other guy that kind of started it was like, hey, like reaching out for a handshake. Like, we both like boats. And I was like, wow, awesome. It didn't turn into a fight. Like, good news on TikTok. Might as well go through all the TikTok stuff. Boo, boo, boo. Oh, yeah. This was weird. This is a girl. She's in a bathroom stall, which realized because the text on the screen is like, I came in the bathroom to cry. You know, as you do. That's what bathrooms are for. And every time. This just in. Same news as before. Yep. That button is too close to my shift button, but that's just what we do. That's just, you just got to work with it. So she goes in. She's in the bathroom stall. The text says, I came in here to cry, but I think the lady in the stall next to me is having a worse day. And you can hear very plainly, very audibly. I don't think it's an added audio thing. It's just straight up this girl, Curb Your Enthusiasm facing the camera, while you can just hear rampant liquid diarrhea just hitting the toilet bowl water, and it's just going and it's just going. She's like, like, can you believe this? Oh, poor lady / poor me. I was gonna try and cry. How am I supposed to cry when I can hear, projectile diarrhea just beyond this slim little wall? And we now live in a world where, when that does happen, you don't go, oh, I was here for privacy, and obviously you were here for privacy, but now I'm going to record both of our privacy for all of the people. Who? I don't know. Some random guy in Nova Scotia is going to see it, maybe? Yep. And I did. I'm just like, all right, this is bananas. This is bananas. 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 While I said that, it reminded me, oh yeah, that was the other thing. It's not written down. I was like, did I write it down? And then the other thing, I think this is the last TikTok thing, maybe there's something at the top of my list, is, exactly, Pat. By any circumstances, no matter what, you definitely shouldn't be recording things in a bathroom. I'm pretty sure it is illegal on some way. I'm pretty sure if that other lady knew, she could be like, yeah, whether anybody knows that was me or not, I don't like knowing that if I go to this bathroom, you might be in here recording the sounds of what should be my silence / my wicked turds. Oh, speaking of that, we got to work on some more t-shirt designs. Laser sharks. We got a whole list of stuff. Some of them I think I actually did draw. I just need to finish them and put them out in t-shirt form. Okay, I know what I did wrong here. Scale him down in this one. I'm gonna scale him up in this one. The other thing is, and I don't know, maybe Laser Sharks can corroborate on this stuff a little bit. You know what's cool? You know what's real cool? And I mean, it's always been one of those things that's like, it's funny. It's usually kind of funny, but this isn't even like, is this supposed to be funny? I don't think this is in a funny context. But, this is farts. Farts. I don't know how, if it's just an algorithm thing, but, one day, last week, and it still keeps happening, TikTok is just like, hey, farts. There was like one person, that was their name, was like whatever, Susie Farts. A lot of farts. A bunch of people with farts in their name, and then they just like fart at the camera. They fart away from the camera. Lots of people just like going up to the little phone thing, the little microphone thing at grocery stores, and putting it in their butt and farting. And if you've followed this stream for a while, if you've listened to the podcast that we used to do, if you watched Morning Everybody, me and Milo's old show, I've said it 1,000 times, fecal blow through. When you fart, again, this is, I don't know why nobody's bringing this up for their whole mask controversy, but, when you fart, there's still a certain amount of solid fart material on your little particles that make their way through into the world. Onto those phones and whatnot, onto the things, onto the people that you fart on. Don't fart on people, don't fart towards people. But yeah, flipping through, it's just like, how is this like the 5th person that I've seen that's like, hey, it's me, Sally. Last one wasn't that great, but this one's gonna be even better. And then it's just like, big crazy fart, and I'm like, what? So I flip back to the one before that, And that was probably the thing that was just like, oh, you went looking for a fart this time. So now we're gonna give you more fart videos. And it was like she went up to somebody's like hotel door or somebody else's door and was like, oh, that wasn't a fart you could hear. I'll be back for another one. And then she did come back with a big epic fart. And I'm not gonna lie, it might have broke me a little. It might have broke me a little. Again, not because farts aren't funny, just because it's just like farting is suddenly a trend. Like, yeah, everybody's 9 again. Everybody's 9 again. I think that's all I have to say about TikTok. I definitely have to, and will do my best to watch less TikTok. Another creepy thing. One more. Okay, this is extra creepy. Pat, we watched my Jason Voorhees jumping up and down, right? Good time. And in my head, all of TikTok is fairly adult. I realized it was supposed to be invented for like kids to sing and dance, but all I see is people doing stuff. Hey, Hype Mellow. By being awesome is the answer. By being awesome is reason number one. If you go to the YouTube, if you go to Streamlabs YouTube, watch like the 4th or 5th video down with my face on it and this cat. It explains why I'm hosted by Streamlabs. Mostly because I work there, but mostly because I'm awesome. Mostly because I'm awesome. Remember what Dominic said today? My favorite part with Milo. He didn't say his favorite part with you. He didn't say his favorite part with the drawing. He said that, oh, the Milo bits were his favorite parts. But that's still me. That's still my thing. No, I don't think so. Frozen again. Anyway, I'm the awesome one, and you're just some guy who draws pictures of things. So yeah, in my eyes, TikTok is a bunch of very, very sexual or violent or political. Like it's all very adult, and I genuinely keep forgetting that there's a bunch of kids on there. And yeah, so I'm up to like 52 followers on TikTok since I started that. But yeah, most of them came after the Jason Voorhees boob bounce. And when I'd click on them to see, like, should I follow these people back? They were like 7 and 8-year-old little boys. And I'm just like, well, now I feel like I should delete this. This is crazy. Like the whole app. What? What is it? What? Oh, this is weird. But again, the whole world is weird. There's a bunch of old men that are just on there strictly just to yell at young people. Oh, man. But seriously, definitely must have. Oh, okay, movies. I watched a movie. I sat down and I watched a movie. Right? Finally. Talk about a movie again. Most people watch lots of movies. For some reason, I've just not been watching movies. Too busy making stuff, doing stuff. I can't focus on the things that I'm doing if I also want to watch a movie. Luckily, this was one of those movies where 5 minutes in, I was like, oh, cool. I don't feel the absolute need to focus on this. I don't watch a lot of content on Twitch, so I haven't infected myself with the vast variety. Usually, I just watch the streams of the people who I'm doing artwork for. And then I'm out. So normally they're usually just like, hey, some TV celebrity that I either know of or don't know of, some musician, or just straight up a gamer, and it's just like some Fortniting and stuff. I usually don't run into the crazy toxic people, so I don't see a lot of horrific stuff. So in my mind, which is still kind of a really nice place. And same with YouTube, actually. Like, I only watch the stuff that I like on YouTube, and it usually just feeds me more stuff that I will like. So, I don't know. The YouTube algorithm does pretty good by me, except for not telling everybody on the internet that I'm great. Hey, YouTube, tell everybody I'm great. So I saw a commercial for a movie, and I was like, I think I want to see that movie. That movie looks pretty fun. I bet that movie will be fun. And then at the end of the commercial was like, and it's on Amazon Prime. Why don't you watch it now? And I'm like, oh, cool. I could watch it right now. I have Amazon Prime. I still don't have to go and sign back up for Netflix until He-Man comes back, which I think it might have already did, or will be back soon. But once He-Man's on, I'm gonna have to go back to Netflix again and see if it will work with any of my devices, or I'll waste another $12 a month or whatever TikTok costs now. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. TikTok is also just mostly people promoting their OnlyFans. Um, the amount of people, hype mellow, cheering times 100. Hype mellow, making it cool. Thanks. He's hype and he's mellow, and he's got them bits. Yeah, so many people like specifically. I saw the picture of you guys on your way to watch F9. That's all I need to know about it. I'm sure everyone had a great time. I mean, I guarantee the Fast movies, or at least the later ones, definitely super hilarious to watch. But again, still lots of cars. Only Kevin Spacey didn't ruin Baby Driver. Man, oh man, what a good movie. Still fun cars, and again, John Hamm could do whatever he wants. So yeah, I saw this commercial, and I'm like, cool, looks like fun. Gotta check this out. And it's a little movie that they decided to name Monster Hunter. Called Monster Hunter with Mila Jovovich. Hype mellow. That's a she. Twitch icon, happy as can be. Having fun playing games and being aggressive. Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious. That's just been stuck in my head all day. Are you doing a little salute? Awesome. But yeah, put the movie on, and then within like the first 5 minutes of the movie, I'm both like, oh cool, I do want to see this. There's gonna be a bunch of giant monsters. Ron Perlman looks like he's gonna be doing a good job in this movie. Tony Jaa, is that his name? He's amazing, so he'll be doing some super great stuff. And Mila Jovovich, never don't like her, even in the Resident Evil movies, which are, you know, so poorly put together, so badly written, and just shot in a way that is just like, do you know how things move, director guy? You know how things have weight? Do you know how if you drop something over there, you can't still have it in your hand over here because it's over there? Do you know that? And the more I watched the movie, the more I was like, this is exactly like Resident Evil. Like, this is definitely a video game script that was just made into a movie instead of a video game. And then at a certain point, they got some weapons that are just like, is this God of War? Like just giant swords that regular people cannot wield. Dialogue that is clearly just like, this is just the dialogue you get on a mission before you go play the game. I'll have to say, 1,000 times better than Resident Evil. But yeah, by the end, I was just like, oh, okay, this is definitely by the same guy that did Resident Evil. Like, it has to be. Just the camera depth alone, if that's a thing that you can focus on, nobody focuses on that. What is wrong with you? What are you even saying right now? The camera depth? This guy's style of camera depth? I don't know how else to say it, but yes, there's a weird thing about every Resident Evil movie has this thing, and Mortal Kombat, I think he did one of those, if not all of them as well, they have this weird depth of field that makes it feel like a fake movie. And I assume some of it's because, it's just all shot on a green screen. But it looked like they actually went to the desert. It looked like they were in real places. It was just like it seemed like they spent the money. But then again, like the same issue that comes up with just about every monster movie is, hey, check it out. I invented this unstoppable killing machine. It's gigantic. It's got extra arms. It breathes fire. It's got wings. It can swim through the ground with the greatest of ease and just pop up like a shark as if there's nothing stopping it. There's no sand fleas. There's no nothing. New Mortal Kombat looks like it's probably fun, fight-wise, action-wise, but definitely story-wise. Looks like still a great disappointment. But I will have to definitely stop and check that one out. But yeah, I didn't want to stop watching Monster Hunter. I wasn't like, this is terrible. Like with the later Resident Evil movies, you're just like, get to some sort of point and don't you dare get to the end of this movie and then act like you're gonna just, hey, here's a cliffhanger. We're totally gonna pick it up where we left off next time. Just like Back to the Future 2 and 3. We're just gonna roll them all together, and you're gonna be a happy little boy when you watch your movies. I'm getting too warm, I guess. My fingerprints no longer work on my phone. But then you get to the end of the Resident Evil movie. They have a weird cliffhanger. They'll be like, "This is great if you didn't make another one." And then the next one, they're like, "We're gonna act like we're picking up where we left off, but we are not. Half the characters are gone or dead or replaced. All the other stuff, and also I have magic powers now." And then they're gone, and then they're back. And, oh man, infuriating bunch of movies, but still, zombies, magic powers, still a lot of fun stuff. But again, there's just certain things that are like, even when you matrix out your physics and have fun with things bouncing around, there's still certain things you need to do to ground them, to make them feel good. Like a Marvel movie, like things are floating, things are being whipped around, but things still have some connection to the world. And the words that they say seem like things that a person would say. Or that, like, these people actually said them. But yeah, a lot of the dialogue in this is just like, who talks like this? I hate you guys. This is video game dialogue. And then again, once I got to the end, it was just like, oh, this is why everyone sounds like they're written by the Wesker character from the Resident Evil movies, because it's made by the guy from the Resident Evil movies with all the people from the Resident Evil movies. So the monsters, pretty cool. They still have that weird video game look to them. Like, there will be scenes, it's just like, looks good, and then one scene where it's like, why was that scene completely mislit? Nothing was really, it seemed like it was there. It was just like somebody didn't finish this shot, and then back to the normal shots, and it was just like, I guess you needed that shot in there, but you should have finished it or cut it. I don't know, but whatever. You didn't lose any money on it, I'm sure. Amazon still got my monthly whatever the Prime fee is. So anyway, I'm going to say spoiler alert because I'm definitely going to accidentally / definitely tell you how it ends. But not how it ends, but it ends with a cliffhanger. With a full-on just like the end of Batman, just like the end of, I can't remember which Resident Evil, but when they're all on top of the building, like, all right, we got to get ready to go here. All the zombies are coming. Like, this is going to be crazy. The next movie's going to be crazy. Right, guys? Yeah, but we're all a team now. And then they never go back to that. It's one of those endings, one. And I'm like, are you kidding? Like, then all of this before this was kind of moot, because this is the real mission. But they were really building up to, like, a universe as they were going. So, like, and now we're just introducing this Catman character. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? You can't just be like, oh, and by the way, here's a Catman. There's no real explanation. We're just in a world of monsters. Go with it. So I did. But it was weird. It was like, it was supposed to be funny. Like, there was a lot of parts of it that were supposed to be funny. And the people in it just don't know how to deliver funny lines. Like, Mila Jovovich, again, I love her. I think she's great. Does all the action, all the stuff. But when she tries to deliver a fine line where it's just like, I'm just gonna be kind of sarcastic and sassy here, it just seems like she's still doing her weird, like, I'm in the military and I'm serious voice. Like, that didn't work so well. Were you just being glib? I think you were just being glib. So yeah, it's very, very sequel assumption-y. But yeah, at a certain point, it just becomes I'm not Attack on Titan, but that is Shadow of the Colossus. It just becomes Shadow of the Colossus because it is like the weak point is here. You have to attack it at this point. Like, are you the guy in my headset? Giving me tips while I'm playing this game? Because how do you know this? And what are you talking about? What are you talking about? But whatever. Giant killing machine. It's chasing down people. It could easily, in 2 steps, overtake them. It can breathe fire, but somehow it's always just out of reach when its main characters. Everybody else just like decimates them in no time whatsoever. It's like you got to come up with some way for them to get away, other than, whoa, we better get out of here. Oh, I can't believe we're making it. Like, neither can I. Something should have happened. At least do the old T-Rex Jurassic Park thing where another monster comes up and gets it or something. Like, I don't know, because there's just no real way you should get away from this. So, spoiler for the beginning. Right away, it seems like, oh, Mila Jovovich is dead. I thought she was the main character, but she's definitely dead. She's definitely dead. She's fully dead. She's 100% dead. And then she's just not. And it's just like, why aren't you dead? You must have just gotten magic powers from that thing that should have killed you, and then she doesn't. I was like, how are you surviving this? And so she's like, she's barely dragging herself along. She's got multiple just horrible wounds, being dropped from things. There's so many shots of like we put a camera in the car and we flipped it around and had people bounce around, like they're in the anti-gravity shuttle. And so like she's done. Like she's done. There's no way she should make it to the end of the movie, let alone be a viable person of battle at the yeah. Use your main finger. But then yeah, so she's like beaten. She's like beaten down. Tony Jaa like basically rescues her, and they start fighting. And now, I don't know much about military training, but she's supposed to be a military character. You definitely don't get the same kind of training that a Tony Jaa martial arts master does. He's flipping, he's doing stuff, and she's holding her own with him. While at a point when it's just like, you're dead. You died like 3 times before this scene, and now you're gonna fight this guy. And I think you just like basically broke your leg, and now you're using it to kick. No, like no. So there's just a lot of stuff like that. That is just like, unless you think of them as main video game characters, where I'm just like, oh well, they just rebuilt their health back up. Like, because definitely that's the only way that this makes sense. And once I started thinking of it that way, Glenskix? Glensky KS? Glenn's Kicks? Because Glenn connects. Glenn collects shoes. Come on down to Glenn's Kicks and get yourself some sneaks. Come on down to Glenn's Kicks. We got basketball shoes that squeak. Come on back again, cause we got a sale in 2 weeks. So there's just stuff like that where it's just like, this is definitely a video game. Definitely a video game, and it's really literally not until the very end when the name comes up and I was just like, I think that might be the guy who directed all the Resident Evil movies. And then I didn't look it up until 2 seconds before I hit record, or before I hit go live on the old Streamlabs OBS. But yeah, at a certain point anyway, they get these weapons that are basically like, this is a sword, This is a sharp staff, and this is a grappling hook. And the swords are fully like I said, God of War, just like flames shoot out from this thing, just like causing these Captain Hulk, the American Hulk, the Incredible Hulk. His concussion thunderquake punch thing that shatters the ground in front of him. Ron Perlman's doing that with a sword, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is just a video game then. I'm just watching a video game, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. It's like as long as you treat it like that, then it's like I said, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Nobody should survive at any point in time. And then, like I said, the old Paul W.S. Anderson, is that his name? But in the old Resident Evil way of making movies, she's got this grappling hook thing that attaches to her arm. And at one point, she basically puts an explosive on it, shoots the grappling hook into the mouth of a monster, and it explodes. So then, I don't know, a scene later, 2 scenes later, she's like, oh my god, I gotta climb up on top of this monster to really stop it. I'll use my grappling hook. And they've got no gear. They're out in the desert. Whatever she has is what she has. And then she, aims her grappling hook from her hand once again, and there goes the hook, and then climbs. It's like, that just got blown up. That just got blown up. There was a huge explosion. If anything, it got blown up 3 or 4 times. There is no hook on that anymore. What are you talking about? So just things like that I guess I'm just not supposed to notice in movies, maybe. I'm not supposed to care about. But, like I said, for so many years of my life, my job was just to watch all of the scenes that people were drawing in children's cartoons and pick out the mistakes like that and go, hey, fix this. Some idiot's gonna watch this and complain about it on the internet later. Were people even talking about TV shows on the internet back then? No, it was barely a thing. Leave me alone. I'm not that old. You're so old, all the DJs. Their thing did. If rhyme was a drug, they'd sell it by the gram. And if age was a thing, they'd sell it by just a bowl full, a bag full, a bucket full. Because you have so much age, Sarah. You guys are the worst. You guys are the worst. But yeah, other than the fact that it was just they kind of were wrapping things up. They had some cool enemy mine type of stuff where it's like, I don't speak your language, you don't speak mine. Well, we'll figure some way around this, and we're gonna find a way to get back to our own world or whatever. But yeah, regardless, still looked even the weird wonky physics that this guy seems to be obsessed with. Definitely better. I want to assume that just having Tony Jaa around, he was like, yeah, no. Ong Bak? Excuse me. I'm just going to say Ong Bak. That thing looks amazing and real, and it looks like I just beat up a whole bunch of people, but I didn't. So listen to me, and we're going to make this movie better. So a lot of that stuff just looked better. But really, though, just everyone should have been dead. Everyone just should have been dead. It just doesn't make any sense that they survived any of these monsters. Oh, and just the fact that to really just one final just poopy nail in the coffin of this wasn't an unwatchable movie was in all of these movies, the good guy needs some sort of lair, somewhere to escape to. It was kind of like Jurassic Park 3. If we'd seen the movie about the little kid who was stuck on Jurassic Park by himself, surviving, somehow collecting Tyrannosaur urine and whatnot to ward off, etc. And it's just like, no, there's no way this 12-year-old could have pulled this off. Are you kidding me? No. Oh my god. So it's kind of the story of that, with more monsters. So the hiding place is just like there's like a rock cavern that he's got like one little wooden door over with some spikes on it. It's like, and this will keep the giant spiders out. Meanwhile, the giant spiders live in the ground in all of these tunnels and stuff that they would have dug themselves. But somehow they're just like, oh, we just can't get in. Yeah, you can. Also, you have smaller spiders, and there's big holes in this. Send some of your smaller spiders in to just eat this guy if that's your deal. These spiders are definitely smarter than that. And then the other thing that they're like, oh, let's just get up on this rock so the sand monster can't get us. Like that thing just tore through a bunch of stuff that was equal to or more solid than the rocks that you're standing on. So again, there's just no reason that none of you should have ever escaped these monsters. But if they didn't, then what would the movie be about? What would the movie even be about? What does my hair look like? Oh yes, that's how it goes. But yeah, greatest irritation though is when a movie ends as if it's the first episode of a TV show, and it's just like, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. You can post credit scene, that's fine. Show that some other stuff happens within this world, but you can't just be like, oh, well, now that we just barely made it through this, we're still not done. Da, 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 da. How dare you? How dare you? Um, and then there is still a post-credit scene. That's like, oh, cool. That character's still in it, I guess. That'll be nice to see that character next movie, maybe, if you can afford all the CG again. But near as I can tell, from the Resident Evil model of movie making, is you use less and less of the money for each movie that you make. So it gets less polished and less amazing. Oops. That is true, Laser Sharks, as well. One 12-year-old probably could. Not that, again, maybe it's just because this kid is clearly just like a rich actor kid, the one playing him, because, who else is going to play a kid in Jurassic Park movie other than an actor? Um, but, just based on how Taya Leone is in that movie. You're just like, clearly the parents that raised him were like, you're not teaching him any survival skills. And that dad that takes him paragliding is just like, oh, you're that guy that's the worst in everything. You're always just like the horrible car salesman type guy. So you're not teaching this kid anything. So this kid I just doubt any of his survival skills. But again, that whole third movie is ridiculous. But I think I still watch it more than I watch Jurassic World, oddly enough. Even though that one does have more dinosaurs and more, which should be fun. Super hot in here. Maybe you should take a a drink of that water. Got that water sitting there. Why don't I take a drink of it? It's so hot. Like, it's so hot. Just take a glass of water. I've got some cold water in this mug, and I'll take a sip of it. If I take a sip of my water, will you take a sip of your water? Ooh, it's a million degrees today. Raptor with um. So haven't been talking about what I'm drawing, or how I'm drawing it, I should say. I've just been talking, but I've actually been drawing while talking for once, instead of just waving my hands around while I talk. So pretty good job, I think. But yeah, I'm just doing some cleanup. Somehow making it worse. That'll do. That's weird. I feel like I haven't drawn in 1,000 years. I don't know how to draw anymore. Excuse me. But like I said, over on the Streamlabs YouTube right now, there's that behind the scenes of me making a thing, talking to Milo, and animating, talking about Streamlabs a little. But then last week, Corbin, who is just the most amazing guy over at Streamlabs, all the best ideas and follow through. He works on everything. He's just everywhere. But he's still very young and has those powers still within his wheelhouse. This is a long time ago in a galaxy not so far away from here. I used to be very much the same. Wanted to learn how to do all the things, so the best way was to do all the things. Hey, do you know how to edit VHS over to beta? I don't even know what beta is, but I'll do it. And, you know, spent a day messing with wires, trying to figure out how to even just set up these machines. Nobody told me how or left any notes until I became the guy who was like, hey, we need to get some VHS edited and thrown onto a beta. Make Curtis do it. And be like, I didn't get into this to do this. Too late. You learned a thing. Now you're that guy. Like, well, joke's on you guys. Someday I'll use these skills and this technology to make my own stuff. And they were like, joke's on you. Beta's not going to be around. Like, oh, okay. A lot of the things that you learned don't exist anymore. But now they're all on my phone. So, joke's on you, imaginary old man who's taking a dump on my future for some reason. But the other thing that we did, before I sidetrack myself too far away from my thought, is Corbin was like, well, you know, we're living in a TikTok world, and you're gonna have to be a TikTok girl. Can you do the same thing, make these videos, and then we'll just like super speed them up, crank them down to like just 1 minute, 3 minutes long. We'll put them on Twitter and TikTok, and just do the voiceover of how you're doing them, and just play them in high speed with some music or whatever. I'm just like, well, they won't be quite as fun and wacky as hanging out with Milo. See, I told you, I'm everybody's favorite part. Not what we're talking about. But it will definitely be easier to not be filming myself. I can still do my work in my pajamas. Because, you know, having to get a shower, you know, make sure I have something in my hair, put on a decent shirt, which I didn't do today. This is literally like, what's the thinnest, most breathable shirt that I have? And I was wrong. And I was wrong. I was wrong about this shirt. It's so hot. Yeah, Corbin was like, hey, what if for the next time we do our little, hey, Streamlabs Twitter followers, would you like to suggest some emote ideas or alert ideas we added this time, and we'll do our best within the next 4 hours to make as many as we can. The purpose being so that I could film these things and put them up. So I managed to get through like 4 because I did 2 alert animations. I did this turtle, like a shell drops and a turtle pops out, and I did it right here. I could just open it. So I did some things, and then I just like sped it up, and then I just recorded while I was watching my own video what I could remember from doing it 5 minutes ago, and Go. And we'll open this one. So yeah, so somebody said like, my avatar is a raccoon. I would love a raccoon climbing up or popping up out of a garbage can and waving as an adorable little trash panda would. So it was like, all right, cool. So I did a quick rough sketch, same as I do here. Cleaned it up, broke it up into pieces, and animated it, and then sped it up. So those will eventually be on the Streamlabs Twitter and or TikTok. And then within a few weeks, I'll do it again. We'll post a thing. Corbin and Dominic will post a thing saying, "Hey, do you want some free stuff? We'll make you some free stuff, and then I'll make some content out of it." And you know, everyone gets tweeted about. Everyone gets synergized. Everyone's having a good time. But yeah, this is. Hey, I'm a raccoon with some headphones. Whoop, and away I go. So I did that. This is one day. This is actually a half a day's worth of work. I'll show you right quick. Technically, this should be like a week's worth of work because I've seen and I've done and I've had like when you send out for like, hey, somebody do this for me, and it's like, all right, cool. A month later, you get it back and it costs like $50,000. So I did this in an afternoon, and I did this in that same afternoon. Hey, I'm a turtle. What? Back in my shell. And normally I would have some sort of in and out. These I'm just like, I'll let it fade out. Let your alert fade out. So this person was super happy. Like, wow, I can't believe you did that. Like, I did. If you saw how fast I actually did it, it would probably break your brain. Because then I took the 40 minutes it took me to do that, or an hour, or whatever it was, pressed that down to like 2 minutes, and I'm just like, oh wow, you can still see a lot, but when your whole or half of your day is boiled down to 2 minutes, it's pretty crazy. And then the other two things that I did that afternoon were this. No, I don't want to save. Little rhino emote. Oops. I'm a rhino. Hey, ho, what'd you know? And then somebody wanted, what about Dog Champ? As in Pog Champ, except it's a dog. So I took that guy and it, come on now, I made a dog out of him, and that was Imagi, Imagi. That suggested that, because I got all the tweets still in the files. So that's a thing that I did. We were just offering up free artwork, which realistically, I think that if you go onto like the Fivers and the whatnot, and go and order yourself some custom emotes, it's like, you know, at least like $50 to $80 for an emote, depending on who you get to do it. This is like coming straight from Streamlabs that you're already using. Stream your stuff. I mean, technically my job is mostly just doing free art for people. Because it's just like the VIPs, the people who've paid a lot of money to be a part of the system, etc. To be an Onyx Prime tier, where they get to ask for things. But most of it is just like, hey, this person could use a thing, and we think they deserve it. Like, awesome. And even better when they like it. It's just like, when somebody pays me for something, oh, it kind of hurts. It kind of hurts because, you know, I like giving things. I like giving more than getting paid to do a thing. But I also would much rather get paid to do a thing than starve to death. You know, that's just common sense. What camera am I on? Don't let my boss hear that. No, I just had my evaluation actually the other day, and it's already written in my file that the first thing that he said to me, and this is like the guy, not my supervisor, is out, or my team manager. Literally can't remember the name. Uh, is out on like paternity leave. He had a new baby, and he's enjoying his new baby and having a great time in Babyland. So like the guy who like owns the company is like, hey, I'm gonna do your evaluation. Like, oh, cool. That's not terrifying at all. He's just like, hey, we all love your energy. We, the Tuesday or Monday meeting when you do the show and tell of what creative did last week. Like, we all love that. That's great. Like, awesome. Now, if we just somehow port that energy over to my actual live stream, then even better. But yeah, he's like, all right. So it already says here, like, so I already know it's not about the money. You're just like making stuff and feeling good about it. I'm like, yeah, like, you guys pay me enough that I don't worry about whether or not I'm going to be able to afford to eat next week. So, then it just comes down to me being happy at work, and it's awesome. So it's like I can afford to just do my job, and then at the end of the day, provided I don't have some other extra thing to do, you guys are just technically paying me to do a live stream. You're technically paying me to make stop motion Instagrams of my action figures, and you're also buying me action figures that I shouldn't buy and I don't need more of, but you paid me. And I have food in the fridge, so I can afford to. So thanks. Like, this is the best. This is the best job ever. And honestly, the Streamlabs remote app that I use as a stream deck, which is totally free, is my favorite. Like, I ended up talking about that. It's so easy to use. You could accidentally press the add credits button, and I'd froze it again. Seriously, you got to figure that out. I can't just Garfield voiceover over here like an idiot. I don't freeze, guys. I'm just being chill. I'm just chill, but not frozen. Get it? Guys? Surf wax? Let's go surfing now. Everybody's surfing now. Come on, surf safari, bros. Bros. Calm down, Ted. Nobody's going surfing. That's dangerous and scary. And that's where all the dangerous animals are, in the ocean. So yeah, I was talking about that. Yeah, just literally in the thing was just like, at this point, like, I've actually almost paid off a bunch of my debts. And, I got heat and lights included in my apartment building, and I've got a tower where I can look out onto the city and feel like the king of town. Still not the king of town yet for some reason, but, some people in this town, they know I'm the king of town. But really, I think the king of town is Alicia Tattoo, I think is her name on Instagram. She runs a tattoo place here, the name of which I cannot remember right now. But if CTK is still watching, which probably not, she's probably already fallen asleep. But that's where she gets her tattoos. And I don't know, I just see Alicia. She's just always having adventures. She runs like some sort of churro, like churro famous thing, like just the women's business, and just cultivating events in the town. Just like she's always doing stuff. I'm like, if I'll never be that kind of king of town, because I'm always going to be in here. I'm always going to be locked away in here. I made a logo sign of myself and put lights on it, and I made a bunch of characters to talk to. Except that one. This is the one character that I don't want to talk to. Stop talking. Just stop talking. Ripley. Meow. 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 No. Meow. No. I said cut him off. Disconnect him. We don't need a satellite feed to that guy anymore. He's dead to me, and I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. He's a fun character. He's a fun voice. We'll figure out some other kind of Krang character besides him, because I just too many bad memories. There's too many bad memories, and he's still in the zeitgeist, and I don't like it. We just don't need him. Thank you. That's why you're the sweetest angel. So, job is cool. Get to do crazy stuff. Then yeah, all I have to do is try my best not to do anything too crazy on a live stream or on a Twitter or on an Instagram, so that they're like, whoa, 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 you just went too crazy. Now you're fired. Like, and I'm pretty sure I've never been, or I won't go that crazy. Pat, I know I said I was done with TikTok. This is technically not TikTok, but this is kind of a, is this TikTok? And our new segment that we're going to call, you be TikToking? No. They TikToking right now? Yeah, let's go with that. So the theme song? I need a theme song. I'll probably be like, hey, what's going on over there? They TikToking what? Hey, what's going on over here? No, that doesn't work at all. I got nothing. I'm sorry. Anybody else? Anybody else? I'll take a stab. Hey, look at the clock. It's time for a TikTok. Watch your ass, cause it might be you. Are you getting TikToked? Or is your name Stu Sarah? That was also awful, but closer to something. Last night, 2 nights ago, I don't even remember. Suddenly, just hear like banging, like boom, door slam bang, car door slam bang, people yelling, and I'm just like, what is happening? What is happening? And filthy word alert, I guess I'm just gonna say. A girl screams. A girl screams into the quiet of the night because it was pretty late. It was like after 12 anyway, so the city was relatively quiet and you could hear things for miles. So I'll let Milo say it. She yells. Oh yeah, that lady that yelled out thud. She yelled, "How dare you? No, not how dare you. How did you think you could have that much pussy? That much pussy?" And I'm still gonna stay with you? No, no way. And then more or less a wah type of scream, and then you could hear like the clip clop of flip flops as they like stormed away. So it pretty much seemed like they stormed away. It did. It seemed like they stormed away. And then like I don't know, 20 minutes later, some more screaming, but again like similar type of dialogue that was like so exalted, so dramatic that it's just like, do people really have that to yell about? Is this some sort of CW drama style TikTok, or are they just making crazy videos of like, hey, let's make really loud like kind of breakup videos, but we're not really breaking up because 5 minutes later we're gonna all be like getting stuff out of the car, and then a few more minutes pass, and then it's just like, I can't believe you threw that away. It's the only thing. It's the only thing that I really have of value, and you throw it. It was just like, all right, I guess that guy just threw something of hers of value, like out into the grass, and she's gonna have to find it. People are awful. And then, you know, I want to say that was like Saturday. Maybe it was Sunday. Today is Tuesday. But like, they've still come and gone. It sounded like she jumped in the car and stormed off. It sounded like she grabbed her things and stormed off. And then again today, it's just like, I could hear something, and I glance at the window, and I see her like knocking on the door of the or window of the car, and they're like hanging out. So I'm just like, oh God, people, get better at breaking up. Like when you scream something like that. Oh, that was the other thing. Oh yeah, the other thing was the guy's rebuttal. His excuse. It was fairly magical. So she yelled that. I could hear them kind of walking around, storming away, and the audio drifting in and out of volume. And he screamed or yelled back, you know, kind of, I'm sorry, it's not my fault. The money made me do it. Which was another reason that made me think, like, is this some kind of skit? Is this some kind of incredibly loud skit that's being screamed at me? And if I look out the window too many times, do I become the, check out this old man that keeps watching us from his windows just because we're screaming in the parking lot below his window? And then I become their TikTok subject instead of becoming, you know, I don't know, TikTok hero? Um, Yeah, it sounded pretty angry. I was gonna say, like, as far as like flip flops go, it was the angriest I've ever heard of flip flop, but I was genuinely a little bit impressed. Um, oh yeah, so I saw this when I went out for a walk the other day. Nice, super nice day. Let's go for an adventure and enjoy the nice weather. And in flip flop news, I'm gonna walk around in my sandals. I never do that. Why don't I? It's such a hot day. Why do I hate sandals so much? They're pretty comfortable. These are some pretty good sandals. I'm gonna go for a walk in my sandals. And I went for a walk in my sandals. And Pat, I remembered why I don't like walking around in sandals for at least more than going downstairs and back. After a while, I was like, oh, cool. I think I'm losing a layer of skin on one of my feet under the sandal strap, and I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream. It wasn't even sand, but it was like I stepped in a puddle or I got splashed by a car, so the strap got wet, and then it just proceeded to start sawing through the top of my foot. So now I'm just like, oh yeah, I gotta make sure to keep rubbing polysporin on my foot, so this layer of skin grows back. Cause yeah, sandals are the worst. Sandals are the worst. The worst. Just ugh. But for a few hours, like several days of it, I was like, man, walking around in sandals is pretty great. No wonder people are happy when they're outside, because they're not wearing socks and sneakers so that they don't feel like the world is terrible. The other thing, this is pre wounded foot walk. Was down in the heart of town, which I don't live too far away from. I'd say there's a church. There's a church on the street. But I used to think it was called Church Street because there is, ooh, that's a good call, Avocado Shakes. You get some avocado lotion for my feet. Um, the street is just like lined with churches. There's so many churches. If I try to go through in my head, there's at least one, two, three. Uh, there's at least three big churches, and then just right off the corners, there's like at least two other churches. So it's just like there's so many churches on the street. Have a good night, Space Goonie. Talk at you next week. Slash, if anybody screams in the window, I will keep you apprised via message. um, but this one church down by the library, had a big old sign, big sign that I took a picture of actually, so I can read the actual text, even though I do have it written down. Do. Gonna take some pictures of things that are nuts. Maybe I didn't take it. Hold on to your butts. There's a velociraptor here, and Mr. Arno's dead. I found his arm and it touched my ear. Hey, Fred. So anyway, I'll go to my notes instead, because I obviously just sent that as a message and didn't take a picture for myself. It said, yes, the craziest thing I've ever read on a sign. Now, if you're not aware, if you're new to the world for some reason, somehow, the church has been under quite a bit of fire for, stealing and murdering indigenous children for a long time. Right up until 1996 was the last time they shut down one of those buildings, and 1996 was not that long ago at all. I mean, to young people, yeah, that's the 70s to you, the way the 70s is the 70s to me. And I'm like, whoa, way back in the old days in the 70s, my parents were like, that was 20 minutes ago. Stop that. Now the young kids are like, 1996, when was that? It was 20 minutes ago. So, there was one dude was on the news, priest or whatever he was, pastor, who very shortly thereafter resigned because he was like, hey, we're talking about all the bad things that these residential schools did, but nobody's talking about the good things. A lot of good things happened. Like, that's a very Trumpy way to say things about stuff that aren't true. Only bad stuff happened. Only bad stuff. Just go ahead and list the good stuff. Go ahead and list the good stuff. And he didn't. He just said, like, come on now, guys. And then he resigned because that's an insane thing to say. And you should just have your job taken away from you if you think, oh, yeah, those buildings where we stole children and thousands of them died and we didn't feed them, we experimented on them, didn't tell the parents what happened to them, you know. But the good stuff, though. The good stuff? Which was that? Are you talking about good stuff that you got out of it? By, you know, enjoying abuse? Because that's the only thing I can think. So whatever. Bad stuff, super bad stuff, and really, 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 that's a whole sect of people that have to make some adjustments and definitely make some reparations. You've been making a lot of money for a long time. I think all of that money should come out of your building now and go right into the reserves. All of it just right into the reserves. They deserve it, and you don't. So, I finished a movie about it for my friend who is Indigenous. I made a trailer for it the other day, which, man, I think the trailer might be better than the movie. No offense. I was very impressed with my trailer making work. So anyway, church has got some problems. Church knows it's got some problems. So what this church decided to do is they put up a sign. Oh yeah, signs solve everything. You use signs everywhere, signs. Put up a sign, and it's gonna make you seem like a pretty good person. Yeah, you'd think so. You'd think so. I have no idea if I'm looking at you in the right way. I think I should look down more. I don't know. The church down the street put up a sign that says, church unchurched. Yeah, I'm going to pause and blink on that for 20 minutes. Church unchurched. Under that, it says, everyone loves to attend. Everyone loves to attend the unchurched church. Because, it's like, when you murder somebody and you're a murderer, but then you show up to, like, that family of the victim of who you murdered, and you're like, hey, no, I am an unmurderer now. I know I still look like the murderer, and, I still represent all of that stuff, and I still am keeping all of the things that I got as a result of being a murderer, but now I'm the unmurderer. Unmurdery over here. So, wouldn't you love for me to attend your function? What, right? Huh? Or let's go even more relatable to humans. Why do you say that like you're not a human? Shut up, I'm totally a human. So, the other thing, or the better analogy that just popped in my head is, hey, you know how I cheated on you with, like, your sister and your friend and your mom and a bunch of just random people in bathrooms all across the country? You know how I do that? I'm just, like, I'm the cheater. I'm the guy who cheats on you all the time. Well, now, how do I, there it is. Check out this little name tag. Let's see, I don't know if you saw this name tag, this little sign that I had printed up. It cost me like $9 to get from Vistaprint. Had a good deal. And they sent it to me, so I've got a whole box of these name cat tags that say uncheater. I'm the uncheater now. So I realized, yes, I did all those things and I hurt you for a long time. But now, I'm the uncheater. Do you believe me? And no would be the answer. All right, calm down, Ripley. Yes, you have your own sordid tales. Nobody wants to hear about those. Yeah, super interesting. But time and a place. You get your own TikTok. Meow away the days. We're using words here. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Meow meow. That's why you're the sweetest angel. Um. Hard to read the dialogue. I'm trying to type and get my notes that are in the same app. So yeah, there's one more piece of text. One more piece of text on the sign. So church, unchurched. Cool. Die hard, die harder. Awesome. And everyone loves to attend. Do they? Because the next bit of text is coming this fall. Yeah, Pat. Serious camera. Coming this fall? Coming this fall. Coming this fall. So there are two logic issues I have with the sign. One is everyone can't love to attend a thing that they have not attended. You have no evidence to substantiate, to prove, to hold up your statement that is, everyone loves this. Doesn't exist yet. Doesn't exist yet for them to say, hey, I loved that thing. I love that thing that won't exist for several months. Okay, fine. 2. Second logic problem, number B. Coming this fall? You took the time to make a 5-foot sign? A big, giant wooden sign. There's a font on there. This cost money. You put time and money into making this church on church sign. You're still having church. People are still coming to church, I assume, on Sundays and Saturday evenings and whatever. And again, let's just go back to the analogy. Let's go back to the analogy of, hey, I'm gonna be an uncheater now. I'm gonna be an unmurderer now. You know how I was a murderer and a cheater? I'm gonna stop. No more. No more with the murdering, cheating, and lying. This fall. It's not even July yet. I know. And coming this fall, better me, huh? What about right now? What if you just started being better right now? What if you just stop being garbage and start being better right now? We don't even need a sign. Just start being better, or come up with a better sign that says, we are so sorry. We are so sorry. We are so sorry. And if you're an indigenous person, come on in here and take what you need. You want a pew? Take it. You want all our holy water? Take it. We clearly don't deserve anything in this building. We have made some very terrible, terrible mistakes that have been widely publicized for years, and somehow we keep getting away with that. Because, like I said, I was working on a film all about this long before this became big news. Like, when I started the film about the residential schools, I was just like, you're not even going to be able to show this anywhere, right? Like, you're going to get in trouble, because you can't talk about this. Nobody's going to let you put this out there. You've got a bunch of dead babies under the ground here. I'm drawing little baby skeletons under a church. Like, in what world is that going to be able to be shown somewhere? And then, halfway through the movie, I'm going to therapy to help me deal with making this movie. And the news, the actual TV, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram is like, hey, that thing that you're drawing, it's super real. And we're going to get real about it and start calling people out on it. Like, wow. Because she tried to get funding to make this movie before, and they were like, no, you're not telling this story. No deal. And then finally we're like, yeah, this story needs to be told. Like, let's do this. And like I said, it was like, I had a job already. I didn't need to take time off of my work to go work on this film. But I've met some of the people affected by residential schools. I grew up white and completely ignorant, and have hung out with indigenous people who were also fairly ignorant of it. That were like, oh my god, until I watched this documentary, I didn't realize this is what they were talking about. This was atrocious. So anyway. Be better, church. Be better or be less. I don't understand. Stop getting people to eat fake skin and fake blood. Why? Why is that part of this thing? Only weird, crazy people, cults do this. Not a wholesome place where you're going to feel better about the world and the people around you. And again, on TikTok, most of the people hurling the threats are the people that are saying, your life is wrong, you should be killed, and you should believe in Jesus. Like, so are you Christian or not? Because your death threatened me all over the place, and that seems super unchristian, but that's the only thing you do, is threaten minorities and LGBTQ A plus. I forget the other letters. I'm a terrible person. Where did my text go? There we go. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these things fun. I'm not trying to bring people down, but that's just that's what I saw in my neighborhood. In my neighborhood, just the things that you see when you're walking down the street in the neighborhood. Yeah, that's a Sesame Street song. Oh, that's the other thing that's keeping me wanting to get out of TikTok as well. Is so many just pro-life things, not pro-life, yeah, pro-life, just harassing abortion clinics, harassing just people in general. And it's just like, wow, what is going on? Oh my god, laser sharks. Serious camera? Yeah, meet me on the serious camera for a second. The Vatican has all the money. They have like Da Vinci's and stuff. They could Bezos their money on making the world an actual better place, but instead they have like gold-plated things and secret underground trolleys of gold and whatnot. I don't know. A lot of that is based on Hudson Hawk, which I haven't watched in a long time, but definitely was one of my favorite movies. And I based a lot of my Vatican information on that. But definitely, I definitely must have something fun. There's gotta be a fun note in here. Fun notes. Monster Hunter, TikTok, Alyssa Milano. People taking a big old dump. Okay, I was watching YouTube guy. I believe he's Canadian as well. I forget if his channel is called Billiam. But he'll often have these videos that are just like weird stuff with Billiam. And it'll be like old TV shows. Sometimes video games, I think. And just interesting things in general. I don't watch him a lot. But every once in a while he'll pop up and he'll be like, hey, excellent, Billiam. That's disgusting. Oh yeah. Let's not even talk about that, Pad, but it's just so evident. So evident and so terrible. So yeah, he was talking about Discovery Channel and Shark Week. Speaking of laser sharks, I've never really watched a Shark Week. One year, Shark Week, the advertisements are everywhere. Shark Week is coming. Shark Week is coming. Everybody get ready. Shark Week is coming. And, because sharks are interesting. They're crazy. They're mysterious. There's just so much about them that we don't know, but we do know now. So I believe the order was, hey, watch that documentary, Blackfin or something, Shark Fin Soup. Sharks are cool, the movie. But that documentary that's all about how, like, yeah, sharks are basically just like dogs in the ocean, and they're not actually that dangerous. Just like dogs on land. Until you give them a reason to fight back, they mostly just want to be left alone. They've got a whole big sea to enjoy. And it's just proved, just a whole bunch of stuff, just a whole movie, all about how I'm just like, yep, sharks are misunderstood. I still don't want to be in the water with them. I don't want to be in the water with most fish. Everything's poisonous or sharp. But sharks are just like, hey, sharks aren't that bad. Like Jaws painted a pretty brutal picture of them, but realistically, they're just animals like any other animal. I'm as equally afraid of cows. Cows are terrifying when you get up close to them. Like they have big like dinosaur-sized heads, and their mouths are huge, and their tongues are just like the size of an arm, and it seems fairly prehensile. And I didn't realize like the one time I was around, like, oh, these are just giant cows. I've never even seen a cow this close. Slash realized they were this big. But they were in pens where just their heads could come out. Actually, not too far from here at the agricultural college. We went there in school to go draw animals. And there's just was this one barn where it was like start at one side, and you can walk through and come out the other side. And the cows' heads were just kind of coming in. And they were just so big that I literally was just like, yep, not doing it. And people were like, it's just cows. Like, you're not going to walk. And like, nope. And they're like petting the cows. And like, no. There's no way I'm getting that close to something that has a mouth that is bigger than my head. And then once the tongue was whipping out, it was just like, that's going to pull me in there. And I was mostly associating with hippos, because, you know, hippos are just wildly dangerous. But they look adorable and friendly like a cow. So I just you know, reverse engineered that thought in my head of you know, if a hippo looks as friendly as a cow, then a cow could be as dangerous as a hippo. Pat says, this just in, there's a shark lady that pulls fishing hooks from their mouths, and it seems the sharks have been advertising that she does this, and they are all very calm and understand that she is helping them. Really cool to see. She's like a shark dentist. And yeah, there's lots of people, like, you see so many videos of people just being like, yeah, there's a shark. Cool, that was a cool day. And it's just, yep, they still terrify me, but I understand. So I think that year, whatever it was like, all right, cool. Let's sit down and let's watch a Shark Week. And within like 5 minutes of Shark Week, it's very evident that Discovery is just like, oh, you're scared of Jaws, huh? Oh, well, let's show you some real Jaws. Let's show you. We'll just put out some bait. We'll show you how these things can kill and how they can crush. Look at how dangerous this thing is. Look at this crazy story. And Shark Week was very much about, you know, how they're monsters and whatnot. So I was like, oh, sorry, I already started liking sharks. So I'm out. And it was just, you know, it's just too sensational and made up and crazy. Oh, I know what I just did. Okay. That's paint behind. Paint behind. There we go. So we can paint behind my lines. So yeah, I never really gave Shark Week a chance. Tried to watch something. I can't remember why, but it was like hosted by some comedian or somebody I thought was fun. But in the end, it was just like, I hate this. I hate this. This is just... It's like Cops. It's the same thing. It was like, I used to think Cops was hilarious and amazing. Then after a while, you realize, like, oh, this is just people who are in dire straits. People who have drug and mental problems that just need help. And they're just being chased down and treated like they're wild animals. And it's just like, that's what Shark Week is to me. It's Cops for animals. And it's just not cool. So, Billiam, what he was talking about was that time that Discovery Channel, who I thought was all about, like, hey, education and giving you information and not making stuff up, how they just made a bunch of stuff up this one time. They were just like, hey, the Megalodon is this giant shark, but is it still alive? We think it's been extinct for thousands of years or millions of years, but we think that there might still be some out there, just like that movie The Meg before that came out. Like, all right, whatever. You know, the ocean's big, anything's possible. So they had this expedition going out there, and they had these other team of experts saying like, "Oh, that guy's crazy." Like, it's just like, "No, we've done our research. We're gonna find it." And then just all this stuff, and then it's just like nobody on that expedition was real. They're all actors. None of the scientific critics were real scientific critics. They were actors. And then all of the evidence they had was just fully CG, fully fake. And I'm just like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I didn't realize it went this far, because usually it seemed like they would, you know, again, like the Michael Phelps thing, like, oh, can he race a shark? Like, of course, I guess they're gonna do a CG thing. I assume they were just gonna do a race and not a simulation. But it's like, yep, I guess this is still just stupid. It's just sensationalized nonsense. So they did that, and then the other thing, I'm not sure if it was Discovery or another channel, but Discovery debunked both, or did post interviews like the next year. They did movies or another show about those movies, and I was like, well, there's new evidence. So now they're like interviewing these same scientists that are like, they're still actors. You already said it was fake before, and now you're just going to jump on top of it and still just keep making fake stuff with CG. So and the other one was mermaids. How it's like, oh, the actual, you know, possible true history of mermaids. And it's like, and here, you know, we have some footage of like, you know, it shows the scientist guy being like, if you look at the footage, like clearly, like that's obviously a seal. It's just a seal. And it's just like, it's just being misconstrued as a mermaid. And Billiam points out, and everybody should point out, that not only does that not look like a seal, it fully just looks like a CG fake mermaid. How dare you? How dare you? And just like, it's just fake evidence on top of fake evidence of like, see, this could have been mermaids, and just like, if this was real evidence, but it's not. You just made it up. The other thing about that one specific shot was like, the boat is like charging forward. Like, you can see the spray, the fact that the boat is moving forward, and this seal / mermaid pops up, and it's just there. It's not swimming with the boat. It's not whipped back behind the camera because the boat is going forward. It's just there, just like, hey, what's going on up here? Boat that should be 5 miles away by now, and then goes under. And yeah, exactly, laser sharks. Mermaids were just misconstrued manatees. The end. Mystery was solved. Everything was usually just some animal that's like, yep, that was that thing. It was just that thing. Leprechauns? Oh, back in the old days when people had a kid that they were like, oh, I don't believe in keeping around something that's not born to a specific standards. Into the woods you go. So there was probably lots of just like little people / just abandoned children and people with just deformities of some kind that were just sent off into the woods, and people were like, oh, that thing was out there, and there's this thing out there, and they're just inventing creatures that became you know, our cryptids today, when it's just actually, you know, yeah, the machinations of drunk, horny sailors and drunk, horny hunters in the woods. But yeah, I had no idea. I really didn't know that there was like a documentary about it, and then a follow-up documentary saying like, no, but really though, that stuff was real. Like, no, it wasn't. Neither of you people are real, and your CG is not even remotely good enough to be believable. This is insane. This is just 100% insane. All right, so today's comic, before I turn everything off and lay on the floor and hug my fan, is we're just stealing that Star Wars meme that's going around. So Anakin the cat is all like, let's do a comic strip. And then I'm all right, like, okay, but we're not copying a meme. Actually, let me change the punctuation on that. Just a period. Okay, but we're not copying a meme. And then Milo's all like, weird Anakin grimace. And then I'm just like, we're still not copying, right? But we are. Because that's what everybody does. That's what everybody does. A new meme comes out, and then we all just copy it. And today was my turn. Today was my turn. And as the numbers drop back down from 8 to 6, it's time. The time has come to say goodbye to all our company. MILOPHECATY apostrophe S. That's I don't Milo's house. Milo's house. Rock the house. It's Milo's house. Rock the house. There's never been a better cat or mouth. Hey! Hey there, hi there, ho there, pal, cub, Todd, join the jamboree. It's an MICKEYMOUS. Wait, no, that's not how you spell my name. It's not, but we're all having a good time. And, I don't know. It's been a good night. I am sweating profusely. There's a fan right here. I should have moved it even slightly closer. Oh, that's slightly better. I'd have an ice pack on my back once again, right above my crack, trying to keep me warm so I'm not talking whack. Pulling it back with a little slack. Outside up, it's wiggity, wiggity, wiggity whack. Two young thugs doing something that you never heard. How high, real high? Because I'm just so fly. I think that's everything. As per usual, follow the Instagram. Twitter's the same name. If you would like to help out and give me a few subscriptions for free on YouTube, that will be amazing. I just need like 54 more subscriptions on YouTube so I can name my channel. It's little things that I want in life. Somebody was gonna sing Bare Naked Ladies theme, but they didn't. I'm not the sharpest tool in a shed. But yeah, that's it. MrCartoons.com. There's a link there to all of the stuff. Books. There's some comic strips. Books. Just what I'm doing here. Then someday this will be a second book. But Adventures of Me and Mile, there's a full book there. I forget how much it is. $9, $10. Plus shipping. There's some poetry books and some sexy dinosaur books. If you remember, back in the old days, I used to draw sexy dinosaurs on stream. We'll do it again someday. And shirts. Also, there's a merch store with shirts. Where's my finger? That mug is there. And also shirt versions and print versions and whatnot. Smash that like button. Smash that mouth. And yeah, that's all my advertisements for things, I think. Follow the things. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your dad. Tell your friends that I'm wicked rad. And I'm old enough to use the word rad. And that was before my time, I'm pretty sure. It's been a long day. And it's time to say goodbye. My hat's getting warm. Sweat is dripping down my thigh. Hey, this is a song for everyone to sing along. It goes like this, and the words can't be wrong. What? 'Cause I'm making it up. And here I go again, 'cause I forgot what I'm gonna rhyme with Fred. What? Yep. Good night, everybody. Have a good night. Be nice to each other. Don't commit any hate crimes. Don't pull a knife on anybody. Don't look at somebody else's stuff and think, that should be mine, and then go to take it. If you see something somebody else has or does, just find out from them, or just learn how to do it yourself and enjoy your own version of that thing. And don't... Stop stealing children? Stop stealing girls? Stop stealing people? Why is that? What? Why do I have to ask that? Shouldn't have to ask that. Ross, just be good and be cool. Nobody should have to ask for that. If everyone's just being awesome, then everything is awesome. And then it's like you're part of a team. They'll being part of a team, Ross. They'll being part of that team. Meow, meow. Yeah, what about me? No. Good night, everybody. That's the intro, Ripley. That's the intro. Oh my god. All beat drop. It's coming. BTK won't stab anyone. Not for vengeance. What? And not for fun. Hey, maybe for self-defense. If that comes up, oh, but you don't wanna go to jail. That's what's up in the shed. Meow.